Hello there, and today I want to show you some of my favorite books that I have collected. I have moved internationally now 3 times, and probably will again, so I don't keep many books. I tend to mostly use my Kindle, and I do a lot of library books. If I'm going to keep a book, it's generally because I'm going to write in it, or I am going to reread it, and it has to be pretty good for me to want to reread it. Got my Kindle. I think I got this on Etsy. Definitely worth it to have a really pretty Kindle cover, especially if you have one of the older Kindles like I do. Definitely makes me want to pick it up and read it. But anyway, I don't have many books, but I want to show you some of the ones I do have, the prettiest of them. Firstly, I have Jane Austen. And this one is all 7 of her novels. It's got this really pretty flower design on it. I really like the binding and the fact that it's all, I forget the actual word for this, and they've got the gold kind of edges on it. I don't know. This is one of the fancy Barnes & Noble ones from a few years back, and I have read all of Jane Austen's books. My favorite, I think it's Emma. She's such a mildly unlikable heroine, and I like that. I like when authors aren't afraid to have their characters make mistakes and aren't afraid for them to be a little bit unlikable. Then I've got, I'll just go out of order. This is the book I am currently reading, and it actually had a really pretty book sleeve, but I'm not gonna lie, I did buy it for the book sleeve. I thought it was a really pretty book, and I don't generally buy books I've never read, and the reason why is because I generally don't like them, and unfortunately I think about halfway through maybe my bookmark fell out, which is really upsetting, and now I've got to find my spot again. But anyway, I'm not crazy far into it, and I will finish it because I own it now, so I have to, but I don't really like it. Did I even say the title? It's The Dagger and the Flame. It's not the worst book ever, it's just meh. Then I have one of my prettier books. I'm quite sad about this one. This is the first in the series, obviously, because it is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and this is a special edition by Mina Lima. Now, Mina Lima does a bunch of fairy tale books and fancy editions of different classics, and they're just gorgeous, and they're really interactive, lots of fold outs, things you can move around. just really pretty. They're really well done. There's lots of illustrations and things to keep it interesting. I know a handful of people who are really not readers, and they really enjoyed reading these editions specifically because it keeps you very engaged. And they just look gorgeous on a bookshelf. And then they all line up. Now, why I am sad about these books is because I think she's done doing them now. And she only did 3. You can't display only 3. But it's owned by Scholastic. And I'm pretty sure that Scholastic will still put the rest out. It just won't be by Mina Lima, which is a shame. But I'll probably still buy them because now I have an incomplete collection. It is not what I signed up for. So we've got to remedy that eventually. Maybe I should do more of the page sounds. This one's not as good for that. There's so many inserts. Another. How fun is that? It's so cool. I love it. This one is another one that I have read a bit of, but have not finished. And it is Irish Fairy Tales. My husband is Irish, and my children are Irish citizens, and they both have Irish names. They're a little bit tricky to spell, but once you get the hang of it, they are just really, really gorgeous names. There's a few different heroes and heroines in Irish fairy tales and folklore that have really cool names. I love these pages so much. And this one smells so nice. I love the smell of books, especially if you get either a really new book or a really old, well-used book. They both have different smells, but they're really nice. Alright, on to technically the last book, but not really. My favorite book. So this is one of my 3 Bibles that I have. This is my newest one. It is a Nasby. That's the name of the translation. I have different translations, so I can kind of flip between them and compare. And this one is really nice because it has nice wide margins that I can write in. I have started using this one. I sometimes will add my own notes if I've filled up the space. Just do an insert. And I am enjoying using this one. It is really pretty as well. And it's a nice size. It's pretty easy to carry, especially for a Bible that has wide margins. Oh, and the leather sounds. Oh, it's so good. Okay. I've got to move on. This next one is a devotional Bible. So I actually knit a book cover of sorts to put on this one because it is just a paperback and I didn't want to rip it or anything. This is NIV is the translation of this one, and every day has what passages to read for that date, and then a small devotional, and then the text. So everything's kind of in the same place, which is really nice. It did help me to read through the Bible in a year. I've read through the Bible a few times, but it is nice if you're trying to get through it in a shorter amount of time to have something like this that helps you to stay on track. And it's also got a little spot that you can like check off your reading for the day. And I am among the people who find checklists and things like that very motivating. So for me, that works. I know that's not the case for everyone, but for me, that's enough. This doesn't sound bad either. I do a lot of knitting. It's nice to do little projects like this that are quick. Okay. Then the last Bible that I have is the one I've used for the longest time, and it is an ESV translation. And this one, when I first got it, I really didn't want to write inside of it and mark up the pages because I just thought, oh, it's so pretty, and I don't want to ruin it, but I still had notes I wanted to take, so I just added these. It is not really the most practical study method. I don't think I'd recommend it, but each color is linked to the text that I highlighted on that page, and includes further context or things I found interesting and stuff like that. Anytime I bring this Bible anywhere, there are always children coming over to play with the tabs. I've probably lost quite a few that way, to be honest. I'm in the process of taking some of this information and moving it into my newer Bible in a place where I can read it a bit easier. But it does make for some interesting sounds. The ones that have unfolded are kind of driving me a little bit crazy. I probably will go through and fix that. can tell as well which books I've studied the hardest based on how thick the tabs are in that section. That is going to do it for today. I hope that you got a few tingles with some of these books. God bless.